Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not really sure what we're going to make of this. We can either put this out and a written interview, or I mean, what is the story specifically? It's
Okay. Yeah. So I want to. So maybe you will need to meet. Okay. Let me start. So maybe you will need to meet with the actual people who are part of the story, and I can provide this platform for you as well. I just wanted to make sure this is something that you would want to pursue as a story. So Amelia Gardner, who I've met twice right now, actually, she has in Utah. She has and I'm not probably saying the correct terms, but she has pushed forward this remote or marriage licenses or digital marriage licenses, essentially,
yes.
where.
So
Mhm.
I actually interviewed Amelia going back about a year now, where we spoke quite in depth about this, her use of the Ethereum blockchain. So yes, quite
Okay, yeah.
familiar with it.
So yeah, it has to do with that because I'm now in Washington D.C. I'm a PhD candidate at Georgetown, but I'm originally from Russia, and I happened before I met Amelia or got more or less informed about what blockchain technology allows and what the blockchain world is. Um, I have heard about my friends who are two women who are in Russia, and basically because the same-sex marriages are not legal in Russia, I heard that they did it over Skype, and I heard that they did it technically in Utah, but virtually. That they have a Utah marriage license.
Oh, so the
So
ceremony was actually conducted over like a Skype video. Oh, that.
yes, yes. So and there's two friends of mine. We went to one of them is a friend of mine. We went to college together. And when I heard about it, I was very excited because same-sex marriages are illegal in Russia and they're not very welcome. But for various reasons, especially if you are like outside of Russia, let's say for like immigration issues, that is a very, very big thing right now these days. As many people who are young, who speak foreign languages, who have qualifications, they're either have left, most of them have left already, or trying to leave. Their marriage would be legal in other countries other than Russia.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was one story. And a friend of mine is actually one of the people who got married, and then we're in the same friend group. So my other two friends, when the war in Russia had started in February, they got worried about their lives, because there's a lot of men who are being drafted into the army right now, and it's just not very safe being there in general. So they also had to leave the country immediately after the Russian invasion had started, because they were interested in just living somewhere else where they can be safe and fine. And they were just a couple who were dating, but they weren't married yet. So being from Russia, and they asked this other couple who already did that, a virtual wedding, if like how this goes. And I guess they had shared the same context or wherever they find it from. So they had gotten married in Istanbul, both being Russian, with a marriage license mailed to Germany to their friend's address while registered in Utah. And that's the
International wedding ever. That's fantastic.
yes. And yeah, I was actually like virtually present at that wedding. So I was able to witness the process, which was pretty interesting because it was like a 30-minute Zoom call. And they had to, I guess the word is witnesses as well in English, for those people who are kind of like solidating their marriage. So they were two witnesses and there were guests. And the person was actually like on the legal side of it from Utah, had like a Utah courthouse in the background, it's like a fake courthouse. So yes.
And how did it feel compared to like a standard wedding, just on like it being a Zoom wedding, if nothing else? Was it very different in that way, or being one of the guests?
Yes, it was. Being one of the guests was very random because they had to like decide on a certain. First of all, my friend was worried. I never even received her invitation because she sent it to me on Telegram. And you notice I'm not a very frequent Telegram user because in Russia we use, well, or like I guess I'm not in Russia, but like Russian people often use Telegrams
Yeah.
for other news sources. That
cryptocurrency world as well. So yeah.
Yeah, so like you would follow a lot of channels, you know, and things like that. So that's why like it's hard. Since she sent me an invite there, I just simply didn't even know that was happening. So but and because people are in different time zones, because she had guests from Russia, and Russia has various time zones, and then guests from Germany, and I'm in the US, and actually a couple other friends are in the US as well. So I feel like advantage of it, like with everything that happens digitally, is that so many people could come. But it was definitely a very different feel, because I feel like one of the things that I've noticed that was weird. First of all, like it's a limited amount of time. You don't even have time to like, you know, do something else. You have to set up a separate meeting. But I also have noticed that some of the people who were witnesses, one girl was a little bit challenged by the fact that it's a very serious, you know, kind of like responsibility legally.
Yeah.
And because this is not her first language, and the person didn't like put any effort into like accommodating it to her, she did manage to say what she had to say in the witness role, you know, and then she did cope with that role pretty well. But I could say like she was like scared or nervous, but I guess like any international wedding would be like that in a way. I just also happen not been to any of those. But it was funny because sometimes it was, you know, like there's older people who don't know how to use technology. So you would see somebody's grandpa showing his ceiling or like turning the mic on occasionally.
Turned into a cat halfway through.
Yeah, so that was quite hilarious. But yeah, another strange thing about it, like I said, because it's different time zone, I was literally in the middle of my workday, and then I zoomed into that for 30 minutes, you know, toasted and got back to my work. And I had just witnessed a very important event in my friend's life.
That's very, very 2022, isn't it? So what did you do?
Yes,
Oh, I went to a friend's wedding very quickly.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's a overall it's a fantastic story. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? Really, just overall, and yeah, a lot of issues there which are brilliant. Fits very much into my what do you call it? My I'm terrible with words for a writer sometimes. And my vertical,
Life,
the proper,
life work.
would definitely fit my niche audience. Oh well, it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you, and yeah,
Of course.
that's really great stuff. Anything else you wanted to add, or?
No, just I'm glad this. I didn't expect this to go any further, but I used to be a journalist myself, so I'm very. I know how much like how excited you can get if the story comes to you in a way or like a part of it. So